This is my day 2, quick little recap video of the 100-day code challenge. Still using Free Code Camp and their HTML5 basics. Kind of looked forward a little bit into that, started planning for eventually when I'll start learning CSS and whatnot. Today was all about learning how to add, I believe it was called unordered lists, so bullet point lists, and adding numbered lists into your paragraphs, adding form elements, I believe they were called, around like action elements and links and whatnot. So they taught me how to go into my web page that I was working on, get rid of my 2 paragraphs, add in a bullet point list, add in a numbered list, and then below that I also added in a submit field, and then a submit button, and learned how to put in placeholder text in the submit field, and then using HTML5, learning how to make the submit field required if you are going to hit the submit button. So that was pretty neat. Just kind of learning how those work together and kind of getting to the point in, it's only day 2, but getting to the point in the curriculum where I can already see things I'm using in real life websites and kind of how they're used, and understanding now, okay, so that's how that person created this, that's how that person created this, and just seeing that. I had a hard time with forms, and the whole idea of that, if for some reason you're watching this and you don't know, is so that using HTML, you can collect data from your web page and send it to a server. And so the example wanted me to set a form around my submit field and my submit button and tell it to submit it to, point B, with point A being the web page. And I don't remember what it was about it. I think a big part that I had an issue with on it was just learning how to bracket it correctly, learning how to write it into the code so that it would work. I kept wanting to put it in the middle of my text field, putting it just above it, just below it. But I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I'm not looking at my notes today, but I believe the fix that I ended up having for it was just putting form equals whatever the field was, deliver to wherever above, and then closing those with the lesser than, greater than. I don't actually know what those are called. I need to learn what those are called. And then at the very bottom of what I wanted to correct, putting the close form, so the less than / form greater than. And I believe that actually finally worked and got it working. But that is what I worked on today. That's what took me the most time, was those forms. But everything else went great. Everything else was pretty easy. Getting it into it, learning how to add the lists and add the form, the submit form and the submit button. My favorite part was actually learning is really simple looking back on it, but learning HTML5, using that to make the submit form required if you hit the submit button. That was probably my favorite part about what I learned today. So yeah, that was my recap for day 2. I'll post another one tomorrow. And as always, I'm posting updates about this on my Twitter. So if you want to go read my updates on there, pretty much just kind of talks about this, but just less in depth. So yeah,